Creating navigations. We are now going to create components for the top navigation and the footer content, and then we'll use the Angular router link and the router link active attributes to let Angular manage and handle all the navigation in our app. So here is the router link and router link active, how they work. The router link and router link active attributes that are part of the Angular's router service that handles navigation. So the router link attribute can be used in two ways, as you see here. The first method is written similarly to the way you would use an href attribute. You just basically replace the href with the router link attribute, and that will give Angular a very smooth transition between views without reloading or refreshing the page. You'll see that in action in a minute. And the second method is by binding the router link attribute to an array. And the array contains up to two elements. In this case, the first element is the component itself or the pattern. And if you provide a second element, that will use as a slash. And then in this example, we'll pass an ID to that link. Okay, so the router link active attribute is optional, but it's used as a trigger to trigger or set a CSS style rule built into Angular itself that will highlight the currently selected link. So that's pretty nice. Gives you some options already, so you don't have to use ng-if to make sure that the currently selected link is highlighted or not. So that's pretty neat. Okay, so let's head over to the IDE and start creating navigations for our app. All right, so we're here on the IDE. If you haven't run the app, just make sure it's running. I realized that I forgot to move one of the files from the previous video. In the back end here, we forgot to move the style rules from the public and this. I mean, we did. Yeah, we brought it, but I want to do something a little bit different. I forgot to change something. I remember in the HTML, notice we link it to just the style CSS, right? We didn't put it through the assets. So I wanted to use this style CSS here to have the data. So what you're gonna do is you basically go to the assets folder, and let's close the backend. Yeah, well, assets folder in the style sheets, and open that. You can just basically move it over, replace it, or just copy all of it, or just cut it out and add it to this style rules here. So just use that instead of the other one. And so you can close that, and then you can keep this as is, or you can just remove it. It's up to you. Since I already have it here, I'm gonna go and just remove this so I'm not too confusing with too many style rules. Okay, so we'll put that style sheets right in here. All right, so I think that's it. So let's go and create a navigation component. We don't have it here, so let's go into the terminal and create one. I'm going to add another tab over here, go back to the front end, and then if you remember to generate a component, you just do a short notation ng g generate component for the C component, and we'll need the nav. I'll just call it nav for short, and I don't want any tests, so skip tests, and let it --s for no style sheet. Okay, so just hit enter, and we just want the component, we don't want the module. And we'll do the same thing for the footer, so just up arrow and then just change the nav to say footer and hit enter. Okay, so this is done. Now it should already populate it into the add module. You see it's already added here, footer and nav to our module, so we're good here. So now let's go into the app component HTML and move this over. So here's the navigation. I'm gonna just copy everything in the navigation, the whole thing here, X it out, I cut it, and then add it to the navigation component here. We'll save that, we'll leave that open. Go to the footer part and cut everything. And then open the footer and put it in here. And just save this file. We're done with this. And in its place in the app component, we're gonna put down here the app-footer. Okay, that's the footer, and up here is the same, right? So we have the app.nav. There we go. So you can see our shell is really simple now, which is what we wanted. So you can close this. And then now in the nav component, we just need to change all these href to the router link. Okay. Up here is the title. Let's change that to say, yeah, that's fine. The title href here. You can do find and replace if you want to do that. That's fine. Or you just basically manually do it throughout. I'm just going to copy this and replace it, all these with the router link. Again, the reason why I do this is to give a smooth transition, okay? I'll leave one here so you can see what I mean. If I save this, and if you go to this site, make sure your app is running, right? So the About page, you see that the page loads very smoothly. There's no, you don't see this, the icon refreshing, reloading, so it's very smooth. But if I hit the register, you see that it flashes, right? You see the tab is flashes, okay? Because we did not let Angular handle that. But the rest, as you can see, is very smooth. And we want to do that because it makes your app really, really nice, all right? So that's the reason why. So here again, just replace that. And then we'll add also the router link. I'll do it for the bottom here. The router active, okay? Set that equal to just active. And just in case we ever need that. So just copy that and add it to all the tags. And yep, that's it. Up here, yeah, we can just leave that out, just the logo, so we don't have to do that. Okay, so I think this part is done for this navigation. And let's go and fix some others as well. Let's start with the About page. Is there anything we need to fix? Yeah, right here. So here's the href again. So this will be the router link. And we don't have to put it active because it's just a link. It will navigate to the next page already. Well, yeah, this link is not going to be visible. So, but we could put that here, just to show that link will be active. That's it for the About page. Let's go to the contact. Is there anything here? I don't see it. Nope. So this page is good. Let's go to the home page, and we have it right here. So this is the router link. Oops. Not that one. And we paste that right here. So that's for the home page. We're good here. And then, and notice we have the title already set in. And if you remember our component in the previous section, we're doing some demos. So we have the title here. It's just the mean stack. You could go and add a word "the" to it, make it consistent with the other site. But all these are now no longer needed. So you can leave these as is. You can remove them. Okay. So I'm gonna remove all this because it's gonna just take us some space. So we don't need these at all. We just need the title. And that's it for the home page. It's just cleaner. Okay, so we leave that out. And then the login page, any links in here? Nope, no links. Oh, one down here, forgot password. This is the href. And we don't have this component either, so we're gonna, add that one there. And then, yeah, that's all we need for this one here. And then let's go to the providers. Okay, providers, we have one up here at the top. This is for the add. And we'll just also, paste that right in here. And then down here, okay, all these here as well. We go to the detail page. We don't need to add the other one here because the active, because we don't have this in the navigation anyway. So we don't need those here. Now, oh, you know what? This toggle, when we click the delete, it opens a model window. So for this one, you can do this if you want, but you have to do a little bit more work to make sure it works. So for this part, I'm just going to leave it as it was, okay? We're going to, load a model window because it's outside of the Angular framework. So we'll leave it as is. and then we just leave it as a default. Okay, so save this. We're done with this one here. We close the login and the register. One down here. Yeah, it has login. We have the link, so we add that here as well. One more here. This is the register, and this is for, okay. I think that's it, right? Yep. And I think that's it for our application. And so just run and test, make sure everything works. So the home page, we change the title, good. Find out more, you can see very smooth. Get started, right? It is the same page as well. The service provider, add, we don't have one yet, but it's very smooth. The more information, good. The edit, and then the delete, and so on. Contact, login. Oh, this one here, somehow it didn't work. Okay, so yeah, these links for somehow they didn't show up nicely, but let's see what it looks like on the actual page. Yeah, they should be the white and then the blue color. Again, just with just CSS stuff, we can fix it. The contact, login, yeah, there's also some CSS. Well, let's see if we can find that really quick. In the register page, down here, yep, some CSS. So I'm not too concerned about that. We can just look for it, find it, or modify our CSS if it doesn't work. But that's pretty minor. And I think that's it for our navigation. So we're good here. Next, we will create an interactive form using Angular's template-driven forms.